This is the Asus Vivobook 13 Slate OLED, and this is probably the worst Asus product that I've reviewed in a long time. But before I get into it though, if this is your first time around here, please do smash that subscribe button, smash the bell notification as well so you get notified every time there's a video up on the channel like this one. Let me tell you why. In a true Asus fashion, the Vivobook 13 Slate OLED comes in this extravagant packaging with all you need in a bundle to get started. Unlike your usual laptop or tablet packaging, this one comes in a heavily branded orange transparent box with what looks like off-white fashion branding at first. Then you open it up and you have a padded silver envelope. We'll come back to that later. Then the slate book itself is underneath, and then you get a padded sleeve for your tablet device, and this should help keep it safe and sound for a prolonged period of use as well. And then there's the Asus Pen 2.0 with a USB-C cable and a magnetic sleeve for it, which will make sense later on in this video. Then we have the fast charger, and let's not forget the booklets that are there as well. Okay, inside the silver padded envelope is a bundle with a keyboard and a kickstand that magnetically attaches to the back of the slate book. You can then flex it into different angles that allows you to use it for typing, for example, or watching movies in different angles that you prefer to do that in. The stand itself is very flimsy, and in a way that it attaches to the slate book, and would have been much better if it was integrated into the device itself or built in like the Surface Pro lineup. Once attached, it feels secure, but not when you're trying to adjust it into different angles or different positions. The pen sleeve we had earlier allows you to attach the pen to the side of the slate book so you never lose it. So again, another magnetic attachment. The keyboard itself does a really good job at keeping the Gorilla Glass display unexposed when not in use, and it just keeps it nice and tucked away, but it's also very lovely to type on. It has a 1.4mm key travel, but in reality, it just feels perfect for my style of typing, so it might be different for you. You also have a big trackpad as well, so you can use that to do things like maybe, I don't know, draw. And it's pretty precise when it does actually work in terms of the system itself. The only downside here is that the keyboard is not backlit, so good luck typing in the dark. A close look at the pen, it's pretty slick and one of the best I've seen in terms of design. It has the right click and cancel buttons on it, and a configurable button as well. The top area can be extended to reveal the USB-C ports, and there's an LED indicator light for charging status too. In a truly artistic fashion, it also comes with different pen tips as well to cater to your drawing or sketching needs. One thing that's great about the pen is it has 4096 levels of pressure and long battery life, although the software and processing power lets it down a little bit when we talk about things like performance. We'll talk about this in that segment when we get to it. The slate book itself is a 13-inch OLED device, as its name suggests, and comes running with Windows 11 Home out of the box in S mode. So you are limited to the type of applications that you can install or run on it. And as usual, you can take it off if you want and have the full Monty Windows 11, but I'd advise against it. It's essentially a 2-in-1 device, but for me, I'd say Asus so they just left it as a tablet device, tablet-only device that you can use to stream movies on the go, and maybe read books as well. The slate book's design oozes premium quality, which I'm not surprised about. It has an aluminium alloy body and Gorilla Glass display for durability, and it feels great. Not too heavy and not too light either. Asus included some more branding all around the unit itself, with Wow the World being the headline branding. But this tablet doesn't really wow outside of its sharp, vibrant OLED display and maybe design. For ports, we have two USB 3.2 Type-C ports, which supports display ports as well. You have a 3.5mm headphone jack with microphone combo, and a micro SD card reader, which I'm glad they placed there as well. And it's not hidden away somewhere where you have to lift up a tab or something to locate it. Up top, in landscape mode, there's a power button with a fingerprint reader integrated, which also supports Windows Hello login. To the right is a volume rocker, and on either side, you have the speaker grills. This has quad speaker system, supports Dolby Atmos, and it's pretty good for a thin device, although lacking on the bass side. Besides the slate book's design, the display is probably the area where it really shines, with a 16:9 aspect ratio cinematic display. It has full HD resolution, it's HDR certified, it supports Dolby Vision. It dishes out 100% sRGB and Adobe Spectrums and 500 nits of peak brightness, although in settings it says 617. But I haven't been able to really test this out because, you know, I live in a gloomy weather country where it's not really that bright or sunny outside to test it anyway. But it's super bright, it's vibrant, it's colorful, and it's sharp indeed. There's also a 5-megapixel front-facing camera that's decent, and a 13-megapixel rear camera. So all well and good with the design, the display, the ports, all that kind of stuff. But How does it actually perform? Slatebook is loaded with Intel's Pentium Silver N6000, a 1.1 GHz quad-core processor with Intel UHD integrated graphics. It has 4 GB of memory in this particular version, and you get 128 of eMMC flash storage. There's also another version which I would have probably preferred, which would have probably performed slightly better, which comes with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of NVMe solid-state drive. Like all my review styles when it comes to tablet devices, phones and laptops, etc., I like to include some benchmark scores, although sometimes they don't translate into the real world. But this one, I couldn't even get that to load, and it was just a pain to get things to work on this tablet. The Slatebook is painfully slow to its core. Loading applications takes forever. Using Edge browser was a nightmare trying to load any websites, and when you load up the Sketch app, for example, trying to draw with the pen shows a bit of lag and bad latency. And once you eventually load to YouTube, for example, it plays fine and no issues, and thankfully it works fine. So it's great for streaming movies on the go. Where relax, it pays for in an excellent all-day battery life. So you do get a really good battery life here. Would I recommend this for anyone? Absolutely not. For £600, you can probably pick up the iPad mini, which is much more capable than this is, although you do lack in terms of ports and stuff like that. But it functions much better in my opinion. So for that reason, I wouldn't recommend this device for anyone. This is probably the worst ASUS device I've reviewed in a long time, like I said at the beginning, but maybe I'm too harsh on this device. Let me know in the comments below. So that's it for the ASUS Vivobook 13 Slate OLED. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions as well, do drop them there. I'll do my best to answer your questions. And if this is your first time on the channel, please do subscribe and ding that bell notification so you get notified every time there's a video like this up on the channel. And please do have a look at other videos on the channel as well. You might find something interesting for you up there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.